her husband and the Prime Minister, which is really odd, having dinner and making dinner for the people who are trying to kill you. But she does that, and so she's fasting, she's going without food, and she's making a massive banquet. And like most of you when you cook, are like, one for the meal, one for me. Especially at cookie dough, it's like, one for the cookie, one for me. And so that was probably not the way she did it, because she was fasting. And so she was having all these great aromas and starving, which is real dedication. Like that's some of the dedication that God's trying to breed in us, that we can go without sometimes. We're not led by our appetites. So anyway, meanwhile, all the way through this time, the Prime Minister had been getting more and more frustrated with Mordecai, who is sorry, this is getting confusing. I'm confusing myself here. And so he really hates him, and he's like, and so he constructs this 60-metre, which is about 3 times the size of the long swing, 60-metre gallows, like to hang Mordecai 60 metres up in the air. But he still doesn't, like he's still so bitter. Like you may get to the point, I hope you don't, but you may get to the point where somebody or something ruins everything in your life. Like you can't enjoy anything because it's there. And that was the case here, like Haman just couldn't live with Mordecai being alive. Anyway, Haman was on his way to ask the king to execute Mordecai. He was just going to go straight to the king and say, look, I get to kill all the Jews in like 2 months. Can I just kill Mordecai right now? And the king couldn't sleep and got out the history books and read about the story that Mordecai had saved his life. So the king's thinking, how can we reward Mordecai? And Haman walks in trying to kill Mordecai. And he's like, the king asked him, what could we do to honour someone? Like, how can I show love and affection for somebody? And Haman in his mind is thinking, he must be talking about me. This must be like a, what do you want for your birthday sort of question. Like, what can we do for the most important person in the land? Well, you would put me in your stretch Hummer, and you'd dress me in the nicest clothes, you'd give me the nicest drink and the nicest food, and transport me through the centre of town with air horns on the roof saying, Haman is the best. That's what I want. That was a good birthday present. Not really, don't get that for me any time. And so what the king did was, okay, Haman, you do that for Mordecai. And so then what had to happen was Haman had to drive in the front seat of this stretch Hummer, beating the air horn and going, Mordecai's the best! Mordecai's the most amazing person in the whole world! And it would have killed him. Because like when you're bitter and when you hate something, the worst thing for you to do is to praise it or to say good things about it, which is annoying how God always asks us to say nice things about our enemies. That's terrible. It's really inconsiderate. This guy is really bitter, and the king makes him do something. Okay, so we're back to the mealtime. This massive banquet that Esther's produced. And what she does is, the king after dinner, like I guess he's like fully bloated because he's been eating for like 2 hours probably, or 3 hours. He's like, honey, baby, because she was quite cute and he was married to her and he hadn't dumped her like the other one. Stupid king. Again, the moral to this story, don't divorce people for this. Yeah, they're not obeying you. So he's like, what can I do? Like, you've done so much for me. You've made me 2 meals. You've been married for me for a while. You've been pretty special. What can I do for you? And Esther's like, well, you can avoid killing me for a start. That'd be nice, because I'm Jewish. And you're going to kill all the Jews in like 2 months. And the king's like, whose idea was that? Because he's looking at her and he really loves her, and he realizes, yes, I did decide to kill all the Jews. And he's like, whose idea was that? And Haman's at the meal table. He's like, Haman, you idiot. And so he goes out into the garden just to get his head straight, because he's really angry that somebody would try and kill his wife. And he's like, angry, angry, angry. And Haman gets down on his knees in front of Esther and just goes, please don't kill me! Like he realizes in the end that she's the only one who can save him. And please don't kill me! Please don't kill me! Okay, just imagine the guy, he's begging her, he's bent over, and the king comes in from the garden and goes, he's Jesus something my wife. That's the final insult. And so he's like, kill that man. And so what they do is they drag him off and put him on the 60-meter high gallows and hang him in front of everybody. It's just this, the king is so frustrated that not only would he try and kill his wife, but he would try and molest her in his bedroom. So he'd like, get him away. And so the end of this story, as the Jews, who are formally about to be annihilated, what happens is Mordecai becomes prime minister. Esther remains the primary queen in the kingdom and has all sorts of influence over the king. And as they say in the classics, they live happily ever after. And sorry, I'm not sure. So there's 3 morals to this story. The first moral is that no good deed will be forgotten. Because Mordecai did good, and it was forgotten for like 20 years, and then when it really mattered, and when it does matter in the end, there's a record. Like there's a record of all good, and it will never be forgotten. If you ever see the movie Training Day, there's exactly the same thing where somebody does something really good halfway through the movie, and right at the end, well, sort of near the end, it's like, oh, my good came back to bless me, sort of thing. The second moral is, don't be bitter. Like if you have anything that's just ruining your life because you haven't dealt with it, then deal with it. So, because Haman's life was ruined just because of this one guy. And the third one is, oh yeah, you're here for a reason, possibly more than one reason, but like there'll be times like Esther when you have to make a call that this decision or this moment in time was the reason that I was put on earth. And God, there's this passage in Esther 4, if you want to go there, it's like, you were born for this moment, and if you don't do it, I'll get somebody else. Sort of thing. And so he's quite brutal in that he's like, you're irreplaceable. You're the only person for the job, but if you don't do it, God will find another one. So that, like, it's really weird how it's like, you're crucial and you're replaceable at the